好啦，咁啊，今日坐喺呢度咧，大家見到有兩位嘅可以叫嘉賓，亦都呢位係嘉賓啦，江師傅啦。咁呢一位咧，亦都係我哋特約請翻嚟嘅一個好正嘅翻譯。咁但係佢有第二個身份嘅，不過我賣個關子先，之後你哋會再見到佢嘅。係啦，咁我哋今日就好榮幸請到江師傅做訪咧 ，Welcome for the interview。
Yes, thank you. You're welcome。
係啦，咁咧跟住咧，我哋就開始問一啲同江師傅傾下偈啦，咁樣。咁就想問下你，其實點解會幾時開始係接觸武術，或者點解你會中意呢樣嘢嘅咧？
How did you actually, again, more or less the same question, how did you actually start being interested in Chinese martial arts?
It's twofolded because I was born in the city of Antwerp in Belgium, in the neighborhood where Chinatown would evolve. So I was at an early age in contact with Chinese people. So this is the first reason.
咁基本上佢喺比利時一個叫 Antwerp 嘅地方度住啦。咁佢話基本上喺嗰度嗰個唐人街嘅發展咧，基本上就喺嗰度開始嘅。咁所以佢就因為佢住喺嗰個城市入邊，咁基本上即係久而久之，佢都接觸咗好多唐人喺嗰度。
And secondly, when I was a young child, I had a very weak condition. So easily sick and frequently sick. So which made me very skinny, and because of that I was many times absent in school. So the other students, they started to bully me because I had a weak outlook. So they being very aggressive and physical. So because of that actually I felt very unhappy, and I want to escape from this being weak, but the weakness. So the how, I didn't know how. And then my father, he wanted to introduce me to Japanese arts and martial arts to learn, but I didn't like the mentality. So I didn't find any attraction to that. But in 1971, we all know one important person, Lei Xiaolong, he bring out his first movie. Oh. Wow, then I look at that one, I say, yes, that's what I want to learn. So I start looking for a place where to learn. But in the 1970s, you know, the Chinese people not so eager to teach the Western people. So not easy to find the school. So I was lucky, a Belgian friend of mine, he was befriended with a Chinese person, and that person, he know a Chinese Sifu in the Chinatown, and he introduced me. So my start was at that time at the age of 16 years and a half.
好長，我盡量去翻譯啦。咁佢就話佢自小咧都比較即係身體上面有啲問題啦，咁所以其實都比較瘦弱咯。咁所以佢話佢成日翻學嘅時候咧，都會俾啲人真係會可能打佢啊，或者會攻擊佢啊。咁所以佢話咁佢好唔開心，咁佢成日都會想揾一啲真係即係想離開嗰個咁嘅嗰個脫離嗰個咁嘅境況，但係即係苦無對策咁樣咯。咁佢話佢爸爸就曾經一度去介紹佢去學呢個嘅日本嘅武術，但係佢話佢唔中意嗰啲武術嘅觀念咁樣。咁佢就係話1971年啦，咁就真係睇到李小龍嘅第一出戲，咁就令到佢係好深刻嘅印象啦。咁但係佢就話喺1971年嘅時候咧，其實基本上要去拜師學藝咧，其實喺嗰邊唔係咁容易嘅。咁佢話佢都好好彩，咁佢就話因為個朋友識得個朋友就係識得唐人街嘅其中一個嘅武術師傅，咁就開始咁樣結緣啦。
咁都想問下，其實嗰陣師傅你嘅習武過程係點咧？即係中間你有學過啲乜嘢啊？或者你有冇啲咩嘅經歷你覺得好深刻嘅可以講下咁樣喺呢個過程入邊？Do
you mind actually briefly explaining to us like how your martial arts journey has evolved over the years?
Oh yeah. It's
a long story.
So actually, I followed my first Sifu actually for about 3 years, and then he went back to China. He never came back. At that time, in those days, people don't easily move out so far. So I was urged to find another Sifu. So, and then I went to look, and then more and more Kung Fu school opened the doors. So it was more easy, and the Chinese Sifu also more liberal, more open to teach the foreigner. So then I start to learn one kind of art, which is named Lam Hoi Kun. Lam Hoi Kun.
收視。
Yeah, 收視 And that's actually the very important part, because from the Sifu is named Lai Tak Sifu. He teach me a lot about Chinese culture, about the Kung Fu society, and all the knowledge behind Mo Tak, you know, all the martial virtue. He teach me a lot. And then also, after I learning from him from 11 years, then he said, okay, he allowed me to teach. So this is actually a very important part. And in a later stage, I met my Sifu also from the art we teach now, which is called Thic Ngao Pai.
Thic Ngao.
Thic Ngao Pai.
Oh, Thic Ngao Pai. Okay.
And it was a Hakka, Thic Ngao Pai.
So iron cow.
Iron buffalo.
Iron.
Yeah.
Thic Ngao.
Yeah.
Pai.
Pie 別個派。
Oh, pie.
Pie.
So
Yeah.
iron buffalo school.
Yeah.
Ah.
And then the art, of course, came from China. And when people from China, because of the bad economic, they moved to Hong Kong. So my Sikong actually, he came to Hong Kong, and then he teaching in Tuen Mun first. He teaching the how to say this in English, the burgemeester, mayor.
Do you mind if I translate the first part?
Yeah, otherwise.
First?
My
memory is not so good.
Okay.
咁佢就話佢當時就話16歲半到開始學功夫，咁就學咗跟第一個師傅學咗3年，咁嗰個師傅就翻咗去中國大陸啦，咁就冇再翻去比利時。咁佢話當時佢就唔係咁容易可以移去第二度，咁所以佢就會覺得佢好想再喺當地揾翻另外一個師傅去學啦。咁我正值嗰陣時候咧，就會係多咗呢啲武術嘅學校開始好似雨後春筍咁樣。咁亦都多咗師傅係會持開放嘅態度，即係我可以教，佢願意教外國人。Sorry, can you actually remind me again? So after your first martial arts school, martial master actually left or returned to China, and then you actually tried to find another master in Antwerp, right?
Exactly.
And then what happened?
And then, on a martial art demonstration, Kung Fu Piuyin. And then I saw a Chinese Sifu, he called Lai Tak. And then I also impressed. So after the demonstration, go to talk to him. He was living in Brussels. And I living in Antwerp, which is like a kind of 35 kilometer. So it's like a 45 minutes driving to there. And then he lived there, and he was just coming to Belgium, and he was started a Kung Fu school in Brussels. So I started to follow him. So I give up my job in my hometown. I look for another job more close to him, so I can reach out for the school on an easy way. So then I went to find a job, and then I start training there for 11 years.
咁佢就喺一次呢個武術表演裏邊咧，就見到一位叫黎德師傅嘅表演啦。咁佢就真係亦都覺得好仰慕佢啦。咁所以佢就話喺表演之後，佢就走去同佢開始交談啦。咁就發現呢位師傅黎德師傅咧，其實佢就喺呢個 Brussels 另外一個城市入邊度住啦，而佢住喺Antwerp 啦。咁佢之後就後尾辭咗去喺 Antwerp 份工，就去咗比較佢話因為 Antwerp 同 Brussels 大家嗰個相距應該35公里度，大約45分鐘嘅車程度啦。咁佢即係後尾決定咗就辭咗自己份工，咁就去揾一份工係接近翻 Brussels 多啲，咁就去學藝呢樣嘢啦。
Then after 11 years, he allowed me to teach.
咁佢跟佢學藝咗11年之後咧，咁黎德師傅亦都准許咗江師傅咧，去自己開學校去授徒嘅。
好啦，咁其實你學嘅時候，你嗰陣時你花咗幾多時間，或者用咩方法嚟去記咧？因為始終中國功夫都唔係話咁容易去理解去消化。咁另外就係話，到你教嘅時候，你覺得你教嘅方法同你老師教嘅方法有冇分別定係一樣咧？即係你會點樣去教你嘅學生咧？呢個兩個問題。
Two questions. At the very first beginning, when you were first in touch with Chinese martial arts, how long did it take you for you not to harness like a step or two, or like what kind of struggles did you actually go through? And then when you became a master, the way that you teach, how is it different from the way that you were taught?
Okay. I think, of course, there will happen some change because every individual has is a different character. So we all have our own personality. But roughly said, the structure stay the same. Because why? The system how to teach students over centuries is proven to be efficient. So we teach in a kind of family system, Chinese family way. And then the structure is like with older Kung Fu brother, younger Kung Fu brother. So we teach them about the respect. So I think mostly I will teach in a similar way like my Sifu he did. But if there's any need for improvement, I have to do it.
咁啊，江師傅就回答咗第二條問題啦。咁佢話基本上當佢教嘅時候，其實佢都要因循翻大致上係因循翻幾百年嚟嘅一個嘅嗰個系統去教嘅。基本上都係模擬翻好似中國傳統嘅一個家庭式咁樣咯，即係可能有師兄同師弟。咁佢透過教呢個武術，亦都傳授咗中國人個傳統究竟係點樣。咁佢話，但係當然啦，每一個人嘅性格都唔同。咁佢話當然即係有時候教嘅方法都會因人而異，但係基本上成個系統嚟講都係因循翻幾百年嚟。佢話因為流傳咗咁耐，有佢嘅原因，即係已經係一個好好嘅例子，就係點解呢一個 system 呢個系統係會繼續可以持之以恆咁樣。
第一個問題。
What about the first question?
Okay, just remind me the first question.
Oh, at the very first beginning, when you started learning martial arts, how long did it take you to actually harness some of the skills, and what kind of struggles did you actually go through?
Before my Sifu, like Sifu, he always say, it takes about 4 years of hard training with 3 days a week to train. And then you have a very reasonable level. Yeah? But it takes maybe like double or 10 years or even more, depending the person, to become a teacher. Yeah? Ourselves, we don't use the term master because some people, they address ourselves as master, but we don't think about ourselves as being a master. We're all students, and we still all can improve. So I think we teach in a very traditional Kung Fu way, old way, but more open to modern times because we must meet the students.
Right.
If we stay too hard like before, too stubborn, maybe they will leave.
They will leave. 江師傅就講啦，咁佢佢記得黎德師傅同佢講過嘅，咁佢話如果真係要成為一個都有翻咁好咁上下水準嘅一個唔好叫師傅啦，練功嘅人啦，咁佢都話基本上要經歷過最少4年。一啲真係好 hardcore 嘅訓練啦，咁佢話最少3日要喺武術學校度學嘅，1個禮拜3日，其他嘅時間基本上每日都要自己去到練功啦，要4年先至會學到。咁我都係咁追問佢，我話其實你真係喺學武嘅過程裏邊有冇遇到啲咩真正嘅個人嘅困難啦？咁佢話都幾有趣，就係佢話佢學武嘅範圍裏邊，反而佢冇遇過一啲好真正嘅困難，佢覺得反而係學武之外嗰個範圍裏面，佢就遇到都有唔少嘅問題。佢就話，譬如話好似當地嘅人會覺得點解你咁奇怪，會中意中國文化，或者點解你會成日同中國人去花咁多時間喺一齊打交道啊？咁反而會覺得佢一個怪人嗰啲咁樣。咁反而佢真係話嗰啲先至對於佢嚟講係一個難題咯。佢話武術裏邊其實學嘅時候，佢話冇經歷過真係一啲咩嘅難題。
頭先好似聽過佢師傅要佢2件事嘛，即係如果教第一就係想教徒弟2件事，第一就係你要聽我講，第二就係學多啲中國文化，好似係。係啊，佢就話因多謝呢個黎德師傅，令到佢開始接觸中國嘅文化。係話如果唔係，佢話你學武如果冇接觸中國文化呢個底，佢話你基本上只係學到一半嘅啫咁講。係啊。 咁另外都想問江師傅啦，好啦，咁你一路教徒弟啦，咁有乜嘢驅使你嚟到香港想學習藏或者學呢個貔貅咧？即係有啲咩驅使你嚟到咧呢度學？
So what actually gave you the motivation to come to Hong Kong to learn to be the apprentice? Is it the payao dance that you actually learned, or even the paper effigy? I mean the paper crafting.
Meaning now or in the past?
Like now.
Now. Okay. Why we come to learn the payao is because our Kung Fu now, I must first still continue a little bit our life story. So, in the meanwhile, in Belgium, I had more and more contact with a lot of Chinese people. They become quite close friends. And one of those friends, he introduced me to another Sifu, Zhong Gang Yao. Zhong Gang Yao actually was Sifu of Thi Ngao Pai. And then the person who introduced me to him was a far relative. So when I met my Sifu Zhong Gang Yao, I was very impressed about the art. The art is a Hakka Kun, the fish from Hakka people. And then I wanted to learn also, to know more. So he accepted me as his disciple. And then I continued the way with him. So because of learning Hakka Kun, afterwards we also learned Mo Kelen. And Peyao, Hakka Peyao is part of the Kelen. So, but we couldn't find it in Europe. So I was looking for where to find. Nowhere in Europe. Then I find on the YouTube video. I said, oh, look, one Sifu, Lok Wai Ping Sifu. Oh, but also no possibility to contact. And then I further research. Now it's easier with the internet. Before, very difficult, now easy. Then I find Mo Sifu. So I contact him. And then the story continue, and then we keep on contact. He informed Lok Wai Ping Sifu. Unfortunately, he passed away, but he instructed him to teach to us the Peyao. So mainly we want to learn because it makes part of the Hakka culture.
So it's Zhong Sifu that you were introduced to, the one that actually went to London.
Yes.
The one from Lok Ma Chau, right?
Yeah.
So you were still learning from Lai Tak Sifu, or
no.
So
Because
later.
Lai Tak Sifu, he stopped also.
So 11 years, right?
Yeah.
Is it 11 years?
11 years. After 11 years,
you were
then
introduced.
the Thi Ngao.
我希望我有記得晒啊！咁佢師隨阿黎德師傅之後咧，咁學咗11年啦，咁佢就基本上再被介紹去咗一位叫姓鐘嘅師傅啦。咁呢位姓鐘嘅師傅，頭先聽翻阿江師傅講咧，咁就係曾經係住喺落馬洲嘅。咁佢亦都認識咗好多So Master Zhong, he is the master of Thi Ngao Pai. It's a Hakka Kun. Okay. So he's the master of like Iron Buffalo. 我講翻中文，對唔住。係啦，呢位係啊，曾經住喺落馬洲，但係後尾搬咗去英國倫敦嘅鐘師傅咧，咁佢就好熟悉呢個客家嘅鐵牛派嘅客家拳。咁佢亦都透過呢樣嘢去學到呢個麒麟啦，客家麒麟啦，咁所以佢就認為客家貔貅其實都係呢個嘅客家麒麟或者客家嘅文化裏邊嘅其中一環。咁但係佢就話喺歐洲係揾唔到呢個貔貅呢樣嘢。咁佢就話喺網上面睇到 YouTube 就揾到阿駱貴平師傅即係舞麒麟嘅片段啦。咁但係佢話佢揾唔到駱貴平師傅。咁佢亦都轉地揾到阿毛師傅啦，咁毛師傅就去轉介俾轉告俾阿駱貴平師傅聽有位歐洲嘅好想學藝嘅人，好想揾你，咁但係好可惜，即係佢就身體唔好啦，最後尾亦都辭世咗，咁所以佢就交代咗俾毛師傅就係話叫毛師傅去傳授翻呢啲呢個貔貅嘅舞貔貅俾阿江師傅嘅。好輾轉
嗱，咁江師傅你而家就學到啦，即係拜咗師啦今日。咁你之後好啦，如果當你學識呢嘢之後，你想嚟翻到比利時之後，你會想做啲乜嘢咧？即係有啲咩你會想同你徒弟去做啊，或者去嘗試嘅咧
？So during this trip, you became Master Mo's apprentice. So when you are back in Belgium or Antwerp, what would you like to actually try with your students, or is there anything in mind that you would like to do with whatever that you learned from this trip?
Of course, what we learn now, we learn in a short notice. So even we have experience with lion dancing or unicorn dancing, it's not the same. So we try to absorb as good as we can now, bring it back to Belgium, and then try to refine it. And if necessary, we contact Mo Sifu actually and ask him some advice. We can send some video clip and he can give some comment. And then, if possible, we will come back next year
咁佢都話，因為今次其實逗留喺香港嘅時間都唔係太多。佢話雖然都即係好有個底子喺度啦，即係舞麒麟同埋舞龍咁樣。咁但係sorry 應該舞獅 lion dance right？You have some before 之前佢都有呢個底子，即係舞獅同埋舞麒麟啦。咁但係因為今次真係比較倉促啦，咁所以佢都想學到佢都想將學到嘅嘢帶翻去佢嘅國家入邊。咁希望即係會同佢徒弟研究啊。咁佢話當然啦，希望亦都可能有啲咩問題，亦都會再問翻請教翻阿武師傅啦。佢話好希望拍啲片段啊，可能係啲徒弟同埋佢可能係練功嘅舞貔貅嘅片段，可能俾翻武師傅嘅武師傅去評分咁樣。
Actually, we want to spread the Chinese culture in Belgium, which we do already for a long time, and then teaching a young generation, children, to learn about Chinese culture and creating a healthy mind and body.
話佢個宏願都幾宏願喎。咁佢話佢好想繼續即係喺當地咧去傳揚弘揚呢個中國文化。佢希望可以教當地嘅未來嘅一輩啦，真係去學下中國文化係乜嘢。希望佢哋可以 ，sorry I forgot your last sentence. To actually find a balance between the heart and the mind. Did you say?
Yeah, to teach the young generation, the young children about the healthy mind and body.
佢哋希望呢啲當地嘅年輕嘅一輩能夠去學到健康嘅身心嘅狀態。
咁亦都仲有個問題啦，都好有趣咧。江師傅，我知道咧，你嘅太太咧原來都係你嘅徒弟喎。咁你點樣可以令到吸引到佢同你一齊學武功咧？正常老婆應該反對㗎嘛，點解你可以咁勁吸引到佢咧
？Something a bit personal. He said like he realized your wife Simo is also one of your apprentices as well. How did you need to convince her to actually learn kung fu or貔貅dance with you?
Okay.
In the beginning of our nice talking, the question was asked to me if I meet any struggle. Well, okay. Yes, there was one big struggle because. For many Western or Belgian people, they find I'm strange. In Cantonese, I think you say is a guai kai, is something you know. Because I'm too close to Chinese people, huh? And then to find a wife was very difficult, because the Western they all say, why you have contact with the Chinese people? Why this? Why that? Why you like the Chinese food? Okay, and then I teach so. I was not active looking for someone, so when my wife, one day she entered our Mokun as a normal student, and she wanted to come to learn Chinese Kung Fu. So it all started there, and then silently I find she's interesting, and I study her without she know. And then I say, wow. So I like her a lot, and then she also high interest in Chinese culture, so it was a match.
咁佢頭先都講啦，佢話即係回應翻頭先個問題啦。咁佢話佢當時學武遇到一個困難嘅就係學武以外，啲人覺得當地人都覺得佢好奇怪，點解你咁過分親近，好似中國人咁？咁所以佢話基本上佢要揾個伴侶都唔係咁容易啦。咁佢都話佢冇話特登去想揾一個伴侶，咁佢好花咗好多精神就係教武術啦。咁佢就話有一日佢太太咧就行咗去武館度，咁就話俾佢聽佢好想學呢個嘅。中國武術啦，咁開頭都可能係唔係話有啲咩特別嘅感覺，但係後尾佢都會覺得呢個人都幾有趣，呢個女仔都幾有趣喎。咁慢慢就喺佢唔知情嘅情況下咧，佢就慢慢去研究佢啦。咁慢慢你就即係成為咗唔係淨係師徒關係咁簡單啦。Did you hear about this the first time?
咁啊嗱，大家都聽到啦，即係其實我覺得江師傅非常成功嘅，吸引到佢太太，亦都可以收到好多學生將呢個中國嘅文化或者呢個嘅可以喺外國更加發揚光大。咁所以我哋都好期待江師傅同佢徒弟之後有更加多嘅片啦，可能喺網上面見到啦，或者更加多嘅動向啦。好，咁我哋今日好多謝江師傅，thank you for your
You're welcome, you're welcome.
多謝翻譯，多謝翻譯。
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Galland.
Yes,
it was
again.
my pleasure.
拜拜，我哋say 拜拜。
拜拜拜拜。